Okay, we're going to go over the answers for the quiz. First thing I would recommend doing is on the top of the formula bar, I would draw in the shape. So for the first one, maybe draw a parallelogram. Second formula would be triangle. Third is trapezoid, and that bottom one there is also for a trapezoid. But that would just help you make sure you're using the right formula on these problems. So first thing you do on number one would be find the base, which is actually going to be 12, and then my height always goes straight up or down, so that's 9. So I have to show my work here. First thing I'm writing is the formula, area equals base times height, because this is a parallelogram. Second thing is my work, 12 times 9. And lastly, whatever my answer is, which is 108 centimeters squared. Okay, then going to the next one. I see that's a triangle, so I'm going to use my triangle formula, base times height divided by 2. Second step, put in my numbers. So 7 is my base. The height goes straight up, which is 3.6. That all has to be divided by 2. Do that in my calculator. Area is equal to 12.6. Then I need to label it meters squared. Sorry, it's kind of squeezed in there. Okay, going to that trapezoid for the next one. You're going to use your trapezoid formula, which is area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height, all divided by 2. So when I look at the shape, there's two bases. I have base 1 right there, and I have base 2 on top. So put in my formula. It's going to be 4 plus 11 in parentheses times by the height, which is the one going straight up, that's 5, all divided by 2. Well, I have to make sure I add inside first. So 4 plus 11 is 15, times 5 is 75, divided by 2, and you can do that all in your calculator. It's 37.5 feet squared. Okay, next one more triangle. Start with my formula, area is equal to base times height, divided by 2. My base is going to be 15. My height goes straight up, so it's actually 8, divided by 2. So your area is going to be equal to 60 inches squared. Things to make sure you're doing are using the right formulas and putting on units at the end. Okay, I'm going to go to the last ones here. Number 5 I can see is a triangle, so I'm going to put my triangle formula. Base times height divided by 2. Next thing I'm going to put are the numbers I have to count. My base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My height is 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide by 2. Area equals 14. In this case, we just call it units squared. Okay, I'm going to really zoom in for this last one, hopefully. It's not letting me. Alright, it's a parallelogram, so area is equal to base times height. Alright, I need to count carefully the base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The height is 3, so area equals 18. And I try to write units squared. Okay, sorry, it's kind of sloppy. Remember, if you need to go back and rewatch, you can. And go to the next page, though. Page 2. Okay, this seemed to be the page where a lot of people lost points, so it would be a really good one to make sure you are correcting and understand how to do these. So for 7, it says to find the height of a parallelogram. So when we have parallelograms, all we have is the same formula. Area is equal to base times height. Okay, it tells us the area, and it tells us the base. We're missing the height. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my area. I'm going to put 224. So I have 224 in for the area. And I know my base is 16, and it's an unknown height. So basically I have an equation here. I'm going to circle that, guys. We've been looking at equations all year. I should be able to solve that. I'm going to go right up here and solve it. 224 is equal to 16 times the height. We should be using inverse operations, meaning divide by 16 to both sides. And you should be getting 14 for the height. And you can label it with just meters because it's a height. Next one's a triangle. We have to find the missing height of a triangle with an area of 245 square inches and a base of 14. So I'm going to first write down my triangle formula. Base times height divided by 2. Second thing, I'm going to put in what I know, which is the area is 245. I know the base is 14. I don't know the height. And I make sure it's divided by 2 since it's a triangle. Okay, to solve this, we have that new step. I have to get rid of the part that says divide by 2, so I'm going to times by 2. If I do it to this side, it cancels out, but I also have to go over there and do it to that side. So 2 times 245 is 490. Go back to the black here. So I get 490 equals, and I should have on the other side 14 times h. I'm going to circle that. That's just a basic equation. We should be able to solve that. I'm going to go over here and do it. We should get 490 equals 14h. I should be able to divide by 14 to both sides and get my height equals 35. Okay, and you can label it with just inches. Again, sorry for being sloppy, but if you need to go back and rewatch, you can. Okay, for the last one, we're trying to find the height of the trapezoid. So if you look up at the formulas there's only one that is for height only. It says h equals. That's the only one we'd use for a trapezoid to find the height. So I'm going to write that down. My height equals 2a, which means 2 times the area, divided by base 1 plus base 2. So looking at the picture, okay, I know base 1 is right here, base 2 is on the top, or vice versa, and I know my area is 330. So I'm going to write height equals 2 times 330 divided by 41 plus 19. So, doing that, it's going to be 660 divided by 60. So my height is equal to 11 meters. So for that one, you're just using your height formula and inserting the numbers into it. Okay, going on to the last page. Alright, so for number 10, you have to find the area of just the shaded part. And it says to show your work. So if you notice, there's just a rectangle on the outside. It's a 15 by 6. So the area of the whole rectangle is going to be 90. But if you notice, the white part inside is not shaded, so I have to subtract that area, which is going to be, it's a parallelogram, so 7 times 2 equals 14. So I need to take the whole figure here, which was 90, and I need to get rid of this inside, which was 14, so it's like subtract 14. So all I'm doing is, over here, 90 minus 14 gives me 76 centimeters squared. So on that one, you just have to remember to subtract the inside. Okay, down here on the spiral review with equations, right? In order to get the points, you have to be able to show your work using inverse operations, which means if it's w plus 62, you're writing minus 62 on both sides. Then you get w equals 28. Remember, inverse operations means to do the opposite. So over here, if it's s minus 6.2, I have to write plus 6.2 under both sides. And I get 31.5 equals s. Okay, last one here. You have to write a subtraction equation. So after buying a jacket that cost $47, Marilyn had $6 left in her wallet. Okay, well I look up here, there's a subtraction equation I can kind of use. Alright, so we're thinking she had some money in her pocket. She spent 47, so that'd be like subtracting 47, and she's left with 6, so it's equal to 6. So there's my equation. To solve it, inverse operations, I'm going to add 47 to both sides, and I get x equals 53. So my answer is $53. So hopefully you made your corrections. If you need to go back and rewatch anything, you can, and good luck on your next quiz.